Hello, so I'll be streaming for a bit, so some of the other items B-Store sent me has arrived, and one of those is the DP75 Geiger counter, which Poland has used for quite a while. I think this technically might still be in service. I don't know if it's completely retired yet, but it's a very good old retro Geiger counter because it goes up to a times 500 Rontgen per hour scale, which is actually pretty high. A lot of old Geigers went to about 200 Rontgens per hour at like the max. For example, that scientific Geiger I've got at the back, as much as that's very good quality, that only goes to 2,000 counts per second, which isn't all that high compared to what this would theoretically go up to. So, yeah, that should be quite interesting. I will demonstrate it. And the reason it's called a very radioactive stream is I now have some strontium-90, and I will show you what happens when you put strontium-90 against a Geiger counter. So hopefully you'll get some people on in the chat in a minute, because it says there are 3 people watching and 1 person's liked, but I can't see any comments yet. So as soon as they come in, I will start saying hello to people. I suppose I could actually tighten this bit up on my neck and have a bit less slack on the thing. Hello, SASSY, SASSY, you alright? So, I think I have to thread that back through somewhere, aren't I, to actually get this to not loosen itself. But actually, there was a bout thing on here somewhere. I'm not sure it's gone, but it's like one of those little leather adapter things. But yeah, it's fine for now. So yeah, wait for a few more people to get in, then I'll crack out the strontium. I'll get the other Geiger counter out as well, so you can see what a modern one says about strontium-90 as well, the digital scale. So I'll use a SOX on it as well. So yeah, please join the chat. I reckon it's not sent many notifications out for this stream because I did the video earlier. And as I've said now, I reckon if you do more than one thing a day on YouTube, I reckon it won't share it. Okay, so that's the background radiation at the moment. I don't know what you mean, where I can take the same. What do you mean? So yeah, wait till the background radiation stabilizes and then I'll get the strontium, but I'd rather wait for some more people to be on to see what, how crazy the strontium goes. Background radiation is 0.18 at the moment. No, this isn't very good, is it? YouTube obviously really hasn't notified anyone that I'm on. So we'll have to give it a couple of minutes, then I might have to end the stream and restart it if it's not going to share it, because otherwise it's a bit pointless streaming if there's nobody really on to watch. Oh, do you mean the Geiger counters or whatever? B-Store, who's on eBay, sent me the DP75, and I think he's got a few more for sale on there, but they're not all checked, he said. So basically, he doesn't know of them if all the bits work or if there's little missing bits from any of the packages. This Geiger counter was sent to me for free by Ziggy Jinx quite a few years ago, and this is a SOX 01M, but you can just buy these anywhere brand new online. Well, when I say anywhere, I mean Amazon, eBay, if that answers your question. That's cool. Your name's Geiger, what, as in like surname? It's just a German name, isn't it? Because wasn't it the Geiger Muller counter, the original name for it? I don't know if that was Geiger and Muller worked on it. Yeah, I'll get the strontium in a moment. We'll just see if some more people get on. I hope it's just going to be really late sending the notification out. And then you know, a load of people all join at once. Let's just see if I've had any messages on here from people. All right, I'm glad you enjoyed the videos. No, I just collect stuff. I'd be medically unfurred to serve anyway, because, you know, at one point I was interested in it and then became chronically ill, so, you know, that didn't work out. But I just find stuff really fascinating. As you can see, Geiger counters in the background, gas masks, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, if you want to see something really crazy, I'll get the strontium out. So which would you rather see it on, the little one or the big Geiger counter first? For the people who haven't seen it, this one that's hanging on my neck. Yes, it's your surname, is it? Right, so I mean, I can show it on both, but which one do you want to see it on first is the question. Tell you what, I'll do a community announcement that I'm streaming now. I don't know if it will share that at all either, but it's worth me attempting it just to see if more people come on. So give me a moment. Yeah, I've got a Polish MC1. I think somebody was saying that like Romania or Bulgaria also had that. I don't know if it was just they bought them on license or whatever, or built them, but because, you know, obviously I know the MC1 is Polish, but right, let me just create a post and tell everybody that I'm on. Right, I will just post that and see if anybody sees it. Right, I'll go back to the chat. Oh, there's the Polish MC1, which is sort of a full-face respirator, a bit like the GP5, but has straps rather than the thing. Do I have the MC1 in my room? Because if I do, I can show it you. But anyway, real but deactivated. So the Lee Enfield and the SLR, the version of the FN-FAL I've got, they're real but deacs. So they've basically been, you know, destroyed to function kind of thing. So they're like props, really. It's fine if you just want a really cheap mask, but obviously it's not up to like really modern standards or anything. Hello, Jesus. Right, I'll get the strontium. So here we go. Now, nice thing is I can probably actually just balance this on here and it will probably stay on fine. Or I could clip it, couldn't I? That's the point. Give me 1 second. I reckon this might go onto that, so I can obviously it's so like tight and not used on there that you don't need a license, but they do have paperwork with it. Yeah, just to like say it's been deactivated according to the law, because if it wasn't, obviously you could get done for it because it would still be a firearm. But yeah, let me show you the strontium. Now I'm going to be dumb and hold this close to me, which I probably shouldn't do. So let's see firstly if the radiation count is any higher coming from this box than background. So obviously that's 0.12. The video that went on Saturday, a few people have suggested different things, and a few of the different things seem quite likely. So what it seems to be is a modern Russian hazmat suit that Poland has bought under license in a slightly different variant. That's, from the information I can gather, the most accurate thing. Okay, so let's put this near here and just see if any of it's coming through. I'm trying to remember which bit of the lid it's mounted to. That's mostly blocking it, so the lid on this is actually pretty effective, but it might be because they put a big bit of steel on it. So, right, that bit there. See that? That's a cover covering strontium-90. So, strontium-90 is what you get in Fallout. Right, so firstly, let's test it with the cover on. Right, it's higher than background radiation, but it's not crazily high, right? What I'm going to do now is unhook the cover and expose the strontium. So, as you can see, SR90, that's strontium-90. I'll just hold that up so the webcam can see it. This is by far now the most radioactive thing I own. Right, are you ready for this? Here we go. immediately gone to dangerous. All right, glad you enjoy it, Lubin. Hello, Xderp SYL. $114. $149. The alarm's sounding now. Let's put it on searching mode so you can see how high it's spiking. $442. Okay, so it seems to be stabilizing about 441, 442, but that is a lot of beta radiation. Yeah, I'm in the UK, right? So that gives you an idea about strontium 90. Now let me show you what happens if I demonstrate it with an old retro Geiger counter. So let me put the strontium there, and I'll put the webcam down so you can see it. So there's, wait for it to focus. The strontium is there. What do you mean, why you hope isn't Russian man? I don't get what you mean there, but... Oh, what do you mean? Hope it is, oh, as in derp, what you're saying. Without seeing it, I'd have no idea to tell you, I'm afraid. Right. Now let's show you what happens with this. So I don't know how well you're going to see the screen for this, but this one has an alarm and it has a scale. So we'll turn the alarm off for the moment, because otherwise that's going to be irritating. So that's the alarm set to off, but I can just show you a circuit test just to show you the things working. Hang on, I need to turn it on first, don't I? So yeah, there's a circuit test. There's the alarm going off. Right. So let's let that fall back down. I hope you can actually see the needle there moving, can't you? Right. So we'll go to the smallest end of the scale. So that's 0.5 Rontgen per hour. Now, this is the shield, so only gamma radiation goes through. So if I put that there, you get a bit of gamma coming off of the strontium, but not much. It's mostly your beta radiation. So now let me show you what happens if I open this. Right. And there's the window that sees the beta radiation. So what we're going to do now is look at this scale on the Geiger when I put this up to there. You see what happened? It's gone off the scale. So now let's put on a ×5 multiplier. This is millirontgen per hour. So that's that falling back down. Let's see how close you have to start getting to it for the emittance of the radiation. It doesn't shoot off too far from it, at least. Okay, let's close back in on it. Again, off the scale, right. Right, now let's go to a ×50 multiplier of millirontgen per hour. What I'll do as well is I'll hold it like that so I can get the probe closer from the corner. So this is, there we go, needles going up again. So yeah, off the scale again. So that is ×50 millirontgen. Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. So we're going to a ½ Rontgen per hour measurement. So it's 0.5. So whatever it says, we halve it. So are you ready for this? Because this is where it gets insane, right? So that's visible there. Right, let's do this. Right. The light's shining a bit too much on it, isn't it? If I get that as close as it can go, as in the probe to the strontium. It's just quite difficult using this, but I managed to get a reading, like the total reading earlier, of 1.25 Rontgen with it, which is bloody high for something like this. It wasn't quite 3.6 Rontgen, but let me just move that flap a bit more. There we go. Right, that is the thing really close, the probe to the source. So let me just try and get that on a little bit better. Too much light shining on it, isn't it? But right. But yeah, if you see that, at the moment it's not going as high as it did earlier, but earlier I got the needle to go to about there. But yeah, this is, considering we're in like Rontgens per hour range, this is quite scary in a sense. Let's see if I can get that any closer with the probe to the source. No, that's quite difficult. As close as that. Yeah, hang on a second. I might be getting more of a reading now. I think it's just edging over 1 now. Yeah, there we go. So that's at least half a Rontgen per hour coming off of that. That's all right, Mike. I don't think it sent out a notification because loads of people didn't come on, so I did a community post, but I bet that's because I did the video earlier. All right, PC Dragon. So yeah, what we can see from that is a really scary dose of radiation. Luckily, the range on it isn't that far. But if I put the alarm back on, I'm not sure what the multipliers exactly do with the alarm, but put that back there. And the little speakers here. At the moment, that's not making any noise. If I go back onto the previous multiplier, see, that's off the scale. I mean, alpha radiation, psychogopher, is the one that's only deadly if you eat it. Beta can still be dangerous because it causes beta burns, but obviously gamma is the one that gets you no matter what. Oh, right. You're just back on hype, are you? Right, good. People are on now, so let's I'll show this again. Right, what we'll do, I'll put it to the 1 multiplier, and I will put this down to the lowest reading at the moment. So yeah, the earbud's plugged in because it beeps, but I haven't heard it making different tones. I've just heard it making like alarm beeps. So there's the strontium there, strontium 90. So here we go. So we've got it set to the 0.5, and I'm going to go up the scale. Right, I know there's a lot of light reflecting on that, so let me try and get it at a good angle. Oh, it's picking up from there, isn't it, on the low multiplier? It's a bit worrying, because that's where it's pointing towards my dick. So, right, let's move that back. Hang on. Right, okay, we'll go to the ×5 multiplier. Yeah, there we go. Alarm sounding again. Right, go to 50 times. We'll just let that fall back down. Yeah, it could be that there's like a broken sound bit in it. All right, cool. I'll have to find a video and listen to it to see what it's meant to sound like. Do you know what setting they have the dial to when there's that? Because there's the different sound settings. Then here's ×50, as in millirontgen per hour. and that's off the scale. So let's just go to a higher alarm setting. And now let's go to the interesting bit. 0.5 Rontgen per hour. No longer at millirontgens, but Rontgens. Ah, yeah, because that's what I was thinking. That would be the alarm. Maybe it's just because I've not got the headphone in. I'll try it in a second. Maybe it's just not, I can't hear it because it's not loud enough. Yeah, if I get that close enough to the strontium, on the 0.5 multiplier with Rontgen per hour, earlier it went to about 2.6. So yeah, scary stuff, strontium. Let me yeah, put this to my ear and see, because I haven't even undone the cable on it. Let's see if it does actually make a clicking noise. If you can hear a little clicking in the background, it's the SOX, because I had that on earlier demonstrating the thing. The reason I didn't want to waggle all this is because, you know, it's always neater when you first get these. I can never get them as tidy as they ever are when you first get this. Right. Right, I'll turn the alarm off and right, let's try it again. I'll go to the 50 multiplier. Oh, it does beep. Yeah, I can hear it. It's just very quiet. Right, tell you what. Let's see if I can get this close enough to the microphone that you'll be able to hear it on the mic. And then I'll go to the lowest setting so it goes off the scale. Right. Let's try this. You don't need to see it, do you? But let's unwaggle those. Right. So I want. There we go. Right. So I want this here, and then I'll. Can you hear that? Can you all hear that? I'll go to a different multiplier. Yeah, if you can hear that, that is the I can definitely hear it in my ear. That maybe the noise cancelling on the mic is cancelling it. That would be annoying. I wonder if there's a way of boosting the volume coming out of this, because I can definitely hear it with my actual ear, but whether or not. Oh, you hear it, do you? Right, we'll just try that again. There's a Patreon Discord server, yeah, for people that donate, but yeah, I can definitely hear the beep with this, with the actual thing, but it isn't very loud. Yeah, it's definitely there. Right, I'll turn this off now. Just give me 1 second. So we'll put this to W. Right, I'll close the probe up. And I definitely don't want to sit down with that behind me. What we'll do in a minute is I'll take out the leather case if people want to see what the inside looks like, because I've not actually looked at it yet outside of the case. But yeah, bloody cool little Geiger counter that. But yeah, for the people interested who didn't see it earlier, because there's actually 19 people on now. Right, let me just put this back up a bit. Right, here's the SOX01M. right? Probably like 150 odd masks at this point. It depends if you know which parts are broken and which parts aren't, to be honest. Because, can you see that on there? 236 at the moment, 258. Oh, the screen's gone off. 290. But yeah, if you knew which parts were damaged and which parts were all right, it might be worth it. But the issue is, if the best parts of it are the bits that are damaged, and it's only like the shit bits that are not damaged. All right, Stug? So yeah, the point is you don't want strontium in your body. But yeah, it's pretty scary stuff, to be honest, like how much that goes off the scale. But yeah, right, just to show you something with that scientific Geiger counter, because this is quite interesting. I don't even need to take the shield off, because obviously this isn't alpha radiation, it's beta. Right, watch this. Let's see if I can get it a bit closer. Tell you what, I'll just take the wand off. Right, ready for this? I don't want to fry the Geiger counter, but yeah. Right, so now you've all seen the strontium-90. What I'm definitely doing is putting this little aluminium cover back on it so you can't accidentally fry yourself with it. B-Store also sent me one of these. It's a replacement tube for one of the other Geigers. Which one is it? It's for the DP66, but can't remember which tube this is for, but anyway. I'm not really ready for free, to be honest. SBM 70, okay. Right, anyway. So, yes, the point is strontium-90 is really scary in terms of radiation. So, Gabby, it was strontium-90. Strontium-90 is kind of a thing that's in nuclear fallout. It's very dangerous if it gets into the body because it basically the body thinks it's calcium. So it completely fucks you up that way. Okay, SBM 20. All right, see you later, Mike. Hope you enjoyed the Geiger counters going very Chernobyl. But yeah, I've not got anything that has ever got to anything like 1.25 Rontgen before. I wonder if that can read beta. Let's give it a try. I'm sure this is only gamma, this radiation alarm. Shit. Okay, that just came off the wall. Did that happen because the screw's still there? Did it just... was it the things coming up? Or... Right, hopefully my DP66 is alright. Let's have a look. Circuit test. Oh, it's doing the circuit test. Right, if I set this one to 0.5 Rontgen per hour, let's see if it comes up with a similar number. Right, so we'll show this in a second. But, at least the good thing is with communist military equipment, it was generally pretty tough. So let's test this one. I've not got this in its case, so it's a bit smaller, so I can fit it on that shelf. But we're messing about with radioactive materials that are quite dangerous. That's what I'm doing. Right, so I'm glad you enjoy the things, Lubin. Right. Okay. Here we go. It's nearly your beta, isn't it, from this? So I need to open the beta shield. And this is if it works, because sometimes this Geiger doesn't always work anyway. Let's go back to 0.5. That's not because of me dropping it, it's because one of those tubes might have gone in it, which is, I think, why V-Store sent me the other one, because I was chatting to him about that. So, you know, this is to replace probably the one in it that's broken. Right, so, let's see. At the moment, it's not actually moving at all, the needle. If I do a circuit test, that works, but... Oh well. I won't bother messing about with this for now, but... yeah, it must be fun, but it's scary, isn't it, in a sense? That's the problem with these things. Right, so the thing we were going to find out anyway is if I put some batteries in this. Yeah, lead line container is a very good idea for something like that. Let's see if this actually will detect beta or not. All right, we'll do it a second hype, but yeah. Will it affect it, or does it have to be gamma? Or will any radiation do it? Right, thanks. You keep telling me I'm the best. I'm glad you enjoy the videos, but you don't have to keep saying it. Right. Let me get some batteries. The nice thing, at least with some of this Polish milsurp, is its D-cells. All right, laser, I'll show you some radioactive stuff in a bit. It's got to be gamma, so the strontium won't really do it with that, because the strontium is beta, mostly. But yeah, with uranium stuff. Right, let's get the batteries in. But yeah, as I said, the nice thing with Polish military stuff is you can use D-cells in it, unlike a lot of milsurp stuff that requires very specialised batteries, like that Russian Geiger I've got today, which I have no idea if I'll ever find a battery for. Right. I think this probably won't work, because I think this is gamma, how this works. I think it's basically if X-rays or gamma radiation penetrates the thing, it sets the alarm off. But we might as well try it, why not? These covers can be a bit awkward to get on and spring tension now. Oh, that's very cool hype, yeah. If they still make those. But yeah, it's the DP5 type one. I'll show it in another video. I haven't actually checked the battery compartment yet, because maybe Piotr's randomly got a battery in it, but we'll have a look. I doubt you actually live in Chernobyl, KS. Do you live in Ukraine close to Chernobyl? Right, it'd be nice if these want to stay closed. That's one. There we go. That one works better. Right. You actually live in London. Right. There we go. That's lighting up, so the circuit test is working. Right, let's go to 0.5 Rontgen per hour. Now, I don't think this is actually going to work, because I'm pretty sure this doesn't detect beta. No, unfortunately, I can't test this, because although, you know, this works in theory, unless that little window there can detect it. Let me just put this somewhere so I don't keep chucking it about. Right. No, I think this is gamma only. Oh, cool. Right, yeah, I'll just do that then. Hype. That's easy enough, because I'm not going to go really walking around using it. Yeah, we've tried to book a holiday to Chernobyl, actually, with my dad, because he really wants to go. but I don't think the company's got back to us yet, so we might have to end up contacting another one, you know, where we started doing the inquiries for a holiday. But yeah, unfortunately, it seems that this only does gamma, the RS70. So, oh, dropping batteries left, right, and centre. That's all of them out, I think. Yep. Right, I'll put this back on the shelf, but yeah, I'll show Laser in a second the Geiger counter going crazy on the strontium, which I've got uncovered for some stupid reason. There we go. Right. Cool, so let's put that back and hope the shelf doesn't collapse. Yeah, it's all good. I think I must have somehow just lifted the shelf up when I took the thing off. So. Or did I have that on the left side of the shelf? I can't remember. Just sit there for now. Right. Yeah, it's got the shield on it over it now. So let me put 3 batteries back in the DP75. And get these awkward D-cell covers back on. Right, there we go. So, right, let's mess around with strontium then. Oh, there's a random spring there. I think that goes up this end, doesn't it? Is that the spring that's meant to sit against that? Doesn't really matter, but yeah, I imagine the Soviet one was built to just be like a tank. All right, Mike. Not all of Chernobyl is. The exclusion zone is basically open for tourists now because, you know, most of the cleanup has been done and it's just you don't go in the really radioactive parts. Right. So here you go, Laser. Here is the DP75 Polish Geiger counter. So what we're going to do is put it to the lowest setting because this is funny in a horrifying way. Let's open that. There we go. And there's our window for looking at beta radiation. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you the scale. So hopefully the camera will focus on this. I might pan it, the webcam down slightly more if it will let me. There we go. And hopefully we can get it where the light can't see it. So at the moment we're on the 0.5 scale. And that's the tiny one because it's 0.5 millirontgen per hour. It's not as heavy as the DP66 actually. It's because it's bakelite, it's not as bad as it looks. But anyway, I need to unshield the strontium. Let me get that all the way around. Okay, here we go. So if you can see that, it's maxed out already on 0.5 millirontgen. Right, now 5 millirontgen multiplier. Let's just let the needle go down. Is there a way of locking this cover open so it doesn't fall back down under its own weight? It's not a massive thing, it's just been nice if there's a way of doing it. Ah, there we go. Yeah, there was. Okay. Can you fully unscrew that? I'm sort of curious now. Might as well just do it today. Right. So now we're on the 5 millirontgen multiplier scale. That's annoying if you had one there, the needle didn't move. But yeah. Right, see, that's gone off the scale again. I know the light's not brilliant for this. Hang on a minute. Let me flick this light off. And we'll see if there's less glare. So I think the screen is quite easy to see on this because it has the light, doesn't it, on it? Let's just re-zero that. But yeah, this has the light on it, so I don't know if this one glows in the dark like the other one. Let me have a look. Because the DP66 has a really cool glow-in-the-dark display. Yeah, cool, it does. Right, there we go. So, okay, right. Let's go to a 50 millirontgen times multiplier. Ooh, here we go. And off the scale. Right, so now 0.5 Rontgen. Oh, cool. I'll try that at some point, Hype, then, yeah. So, we are now on the half Rontgen multiplier. So, essentially, if it says 1 on there, it's 0.5 Rontgen. If it says 2, it's 1 Rontgen, for example. Right, here we go. So it's not going as high as it was going earlier, but it's on about 1 Rontgen on the half multiplier, so 0.5 Rontgen. So, yes, let's cover this back up and put it away from me now. That's a high-pitched, nasty noise, isn't it? But yeah, that gives you some idea of... I have to go all that way to turn it off, don't I? There we go. Gives you some idea of the radioactivity of strontium-90. So, yeah. As you were saying, I think, when I wasn't reading it out because I was playing about with the Geiger counter, yes, the risk is limited, but you still want to be careful with stuff like that. Because obviously, yeah. Right, let's put that at the far end where it's not near me. So, yeah. Strontium-90, everybody. I'll probably do a video on it at some point of an assortment of Geiger counters all ticking on it. Right, so now you've seen me irradiate myself. If you look at the Teespring link below, SAS, all my merch is on there. Yeah, the main danger is eating it though, because that's when it goes into the body as calcium, essentially. In terms of the danger from being exposed to beta radiation, as nasty as that is, the risk from strontium at sort of a half Rontgen per hour dose or whatever, or 1 Rontgen per hour dose, isn't super dangerous. But yeah, it's still radioactive, that's the point. The interesting thing is I don't know how old that is either, because obviously the older it is, the less radioactive it gets over time with its half-life. But that's also something else to consider, isn't it? That if it's that radioactive today, how radioactive was it in the 70s or the 80s when they put it in the box of the Geiger counter? The only Ushanka type thing I have is one B Store sent me with a load of other stuff because people kept asking. Let me put this away. Hello, hello from the other day. Right, I think I just popped it on here. With all that clutter. Yeah, there we go. So that's closest to a Ushanka. I think it might technically be a Ushanka. It's got a label in a language I can't speak. But... no. So, and then obviously, I suppose this is more like a deer stalker actually, isn't it, rather than the Ushanka? Let me work out how it's buttoned up at the top. Oh, it is just literally a button. Do Ushankas have to be wool all over, or can they have a thing on the outside? No, I'm not ready for World War III. But yeah, that's the closest thing I have to a Ushanka. But yeah, so if you want to see some other stuff with the DP75 case, no, it's all right, Mike, because it's not gamma emitting. The gamma is actually lower off of that than some of the other things I've got that emit gamma. It's actually completely fine when it's in that little aluminium kind of cover that goes over it. Because I was testing it by putting my the SOX one, going all around it, and it literally only starts going off when you take the cover off. So yeah, it's all good, thanks. So yeah, there's the case and all the stuff for the latest Russian gas mask I own would be the ROU. It's behind me. Hang on. But this is kind of more like a fallout protective mask rather than the gas mask. But yeah, I don't blame you, Laser. It's better safe than sorry, isn't it? But yeah. Right, so there's a screwdriver in here and the wand thing you can build so you can hold it further away from you. There's the other strap. Does this bit open? Because in some of these Polish Geiger counters, this bit is like a box you can open. It looks like it does. But how? How do I get this bit out, do you reckon? Does it slide? Is there a little flap that gets it out? It feels like it should open. There we go. Right, so there is something, I don't know what it is. Is it just a cloth for cleaning it or something? Cloth. Whatever this does. Little ring cap from something. A DKP 50. This one I can't even see the needle on, so it needs charging. A power plug by the look of it, which is kind of useful. If I can work out why that's not coming out. Probably just because it's shoved in really tight. Oh, okay. So it's just if you can't do it with your hand, you can do it with that. So yeah, here we go. There's this thing, which I guess is a power lead to a power lead for it, which is kind of handy to have. And another bag that doesn't seem to have anything in it. So there we go. That's what's in the box of a DKP 50. Not DKP 50, sorry, DPL 85, out 75, assuming that nothing's missing. Right, let's get that back down. I'll put the cover back over. It's quite a nice actual wooden box for this. It's not too bulky, because the DP66 has a really big bloody box, which kind of ends up being annoying because of how much space it takes up. I ended up putting it in the attic, actually. Right, there we go. That's that back over there. And yeah, there's some books on the DP75, like the inspection log kind of one. Oh, I checked in 2010, apparently. I guess it passed in 2010. Yeah, I'm just going to have a flick through this one, try not to make it fall over. So these. Personally, I would find some sort of container knotless you could put it in, where you're going to keep it out of the light, out of like humidity and stuff like that. So that's that one. What's in this one? There's another sort of one there with load of long names. Is this just the Rontgen radometer? I reckon that says, so I can kind of understand that word. Yeah, Rontgen radometer. With a load of instructions I can't read. There's actually a translated manual for the DP66 online, which is quite good. That they have on Verastralk, or however it's pronounced. If it comes in the container, probably keep it in the container, but I don't think I'd look after World War I masks properly, which is the reason I've never bought them. But yeah, there you go. That's the thing for the DP75. So what I'll do now is let's get this DP75 out of its leather case and have a look at that. So let me just unplug the headphones. If there's an easy way of actually getting them off now they're plugged in, which there probably isn't. Come on. There we go. That's the headphone unplugged. Right, now let's lift it out of its leather case, if that's possible. Or is there going to be shit in the way that stops me doing that? That's cool if there's posters like that in Russian military stuff. I know they used to have those in like fallout shelters and all that sort of stuff. Right, let me take this strap off the thing or move it so it's not in the way of the wire. I don't know if this is glued into the bottom of the carry case, though. Sometimes these, you're looking at this, sometimes those are glued in. Don't really want to tear it out if it is actually glued in, but we'll find out. I am going to have to take the strap off now because that is in the way of the thing. So let's get that off. There we go. That, just taking one off I think should be enough. Right, now, let's see, will this come out? No, GP5 is certainly not gamma ray proof. Unless you had a really thick bit of lead, nothing's gamma proof. We can look at the language inside the hat and see if anybody can read it, but it is not a language I speak. It does actually look a bit like German, so I guess either German or Dutch. Ah, cool, it's Dutch then. Yeah, so it's not even a communist hat, even though it looks a bit like one. But anyway. Let's see if I can get this out. Obviously, I don't want to damage it. So. It doesn't want to come out easily, I'll say that. I could actually, I'll take the battery cap off because I think where the battery cap sticks through, that might make it a bit harder to come out. So let's take the battery cap off. Right. Now, let's try again. Even with the battery cap off, it doesn't really want to move very much. Yeah, I won't try and force it because even pushing on that side of the battery cap off and pushing on the other side, I guess they've glued it into the bottom of the leather carry case. So I don't really want to rip it out. It's like the DP66 I've taken out of its carry case, but unless you specifically want it to be more slimline. Right, we can do in a second hype. All right, which source do you want me to use it on? because it has to be a gamma source, doesn't it? So I'm thinking, what have I got that gives off a lot of gamma? I've not got anything that gives off all that much gamma. The Fiesta Ware gives off a bit, I think, because it's got the uranium glaze on it. But yes, but what have I got that gives off a lot of gamma? Probably not all that much. I've got some uranium glass. Whether that would do it, I don't know. 2 regular GP5s, 2 GP5Ms. That's it in terms of actual GP5s, not including other shim masks. Right. Anyway, let me put this back away for now so I don't damage it. The video I'm going to film later is going to be on the DP75, I reckon, because it is a bloody cool thing. Hopefully I'll be able to get the audio recording to be loud enough on that as well. So, yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I'll use the cheap-ass one then. Wherever it is. I have to remember which drawer I've put it in now. It's this one. Yeah. Right. No, it's not come yet, Laser. I don't think it's been dispatched because, again, it was like a 1 to 3 month ETA. So, you know. Right. Let me flick this light off. I don't know, actually. Does thorium give off a bit of gamma, or is that mostly beta? I can see that message, bot solo. Right. Get this end cap off, and I'll turn the main light off. Right. Let's warm it up. Get it focused. Right, there we go. That's pretty focused. Right. I'll hold this up to the webcam, but that came a while ago, Chris, but I just didn't get on with it. So I've just gone back to the original liner in that helmet. Right, so there's this running. You can actually see through the webcam fairly well with this. I guess it's just a similar size thing to the thing. Right, there I am. Let's just see if I can focus that a bit better for you. Yeah, there we go. Right, there's me. Hang on, let me just give it a bit more oomph. Right, okay. Let's see if this gives off any gamma then. I don't know if that's showing anything. Let me try it with my eye a sec. It's just because I think I had to get enough foam pads to go with it in the end. I just thought, right, I'll go back to the original liner, to be honest. There wasn't like any particularly big reason. I think I could get on with a liner like that in some helmets, but it seemed a bit stretched as well on that other one, because I guess because it's not quite a proper Pascut style helmet. I'm not getting much from that. Yeah, let me try something else in here just for equivalence kind of thing. So, what have I got that would be nice and radioactive? Oh, I tell you what, I do know what I can use. that watch. I just grab it. Give me 1 second. It's not being easy at the moment to get with my hand. But... Well, I think it's really got caught up in the bag, but there we go. I finally got it out. Right. Radium paint. Right, let me warm this back up again. This one, every night vision so far I've tried hype, except the Russian tanker one. You have to constantly hold the buttons down to keep them running. Same with this one. You hold the button down until it fully warms up. Then as soon as you let go, it starts powering down again. So it seems like a lot of whatever these Russian Gen 1 ones are do that. Right, okay, let's try this. If I turn it that way, only gamma comes out. Unfortunately, I can't seem to see anything. The Spaziani Dark Shadow is the only Italian one I've got at the moment, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, it's been all right, Nautilus. But yeah, if you're interested again in this night vision, it is quite good hype for what it is. As I said, for going in a little bag or something, it's an ideal little pocket-sized one, because obviously, yeah, you can just you know, do that, focus it for what you're looking at. Perfect. Yeah, when it's fully powered up, it is quite a good brightness. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I could try it in a pitch black at some point, but yeah, so when this is fully powered up, sorry, that was me pressing the IR illuminator then. To see if I can get it a bit more focused for the webcam. Let me try extreme of one end of the thing, and then that's probably the best this is going to focus on the webcam, but that isn't too bad, this one. So, oh, that's the IR illuminator, sorry. So yeah, that's it fully powered on in this room with the light that's here at the moment. Let me push the webcam more to one side so you can see behind me. And with the IR illuminator, it's like that. But as I said, the IR illuminator isn't all that bright on this. Oh, that's interesting. But yeah, so this is, like saying, for what you want one for, I think you would definitely get on with this. But again, it's pretty primitive, but the nice thing is how small it is. Yeah, I wonder if it's because the eyepiece is actually quite small. So, I have to keep powering it up every time I want to. My glasses have got stuck on it. There we go. Right, that's the sweet spot. That's that one focused as best I guess. Yeah, it is fairly good for what it is, but just said the only thing I find a bit disappointing on it is the little IR illuminator. As you can probably see from there, it's not all that massive. So yeah, that's the only really issue I have with a little IR illuminator. But again, if you get something like this, which is one of those sort of, IR LED torches, that is very good with it, because it's much brighter than the IR illuminator that comes with it, and it's the zoomable one, and you can obviously get much better models than this one. But anyway, do you mean like for focusing it? Because obviously, because it's a light amplifying night vision, it isn't really limited by range as far as I'm aware. It's more just let me just wait for this to power itself down so I don't damage it when I turn the light on. I'll put that back on the front. I mean, I think if you're trying to look at stuff really far away, you won't be able to focus very well, but yeah, for what it is, it's very good. Especially, if you're getting it for like the $50, $60 sort of price. Yeah, it's like with the flare, where people are saying, different flare models, are they good or not on range? And in general, the only thing is the resolution with the flares. Like, you can still see a white heat source on comparison videos or whatever if it's set to white hot at about the same distance on every model, even from like the Scout to the really expensive ones. The issue is on the more expensive units, because they're higher resolution displays, you can work out what you're looking at a lot easier. But yeah, it's more about that. I mean, at certain ranges, and depending on how good your eyesight is, you might find it easier or more difficult to focus the night vision on something. But yeah, the range isn't really limited. It's more limited, like Hype was saying, to the resolution of the display and what the light conditions are like. No, I'm not in a bunker. This is my old bedroom, which I don't sleep in anymore. Oh, that sounds interesting, Mike. Oh, if I definitely like the behind-the-scenes one more personally, because like the shooting contest ones, as much as I enjoy them, they're quite samey, aren't they? But the Halloween video I really enjoyed, so for me, I'll vote for the Halloween behind-the-scenes video. You missed a strontium at the beginning, Ben, but if you want to see it, I will quickly show you the Geiger counter I had out at the beginning. I'll need to reattach that bit again. Yeah, there's a Geiger counter. I don't know what just dropped on the floor then, but I heard something fall over. It's not the end of the world. It wasn't the night vision, was it? I didn't somehow knock that off. Oh no, it was the radioactive watch. Whoops. Anyway, let me just get the strap reattached on this. This is the DP75, this one, Ben, not the 66. But yeah, the if I just get the strap back on, so I don't risk dropping it, which isn't all that easy because they're like very friendly carabiners to moving in or out with the hooks. There we go. Right, we can rock and roll now. So you'll get to see it again just before I go off. Right, I haven't done this in the most easy way, and I'm not getting the strontium back out. But if you want to see a working Geiger counter, here we go. Right, let's just get this at a good angle. Right, I might need to loosen that strap a little bit, so you can, and I can just do it like this, can't I? It wasn't radioactive water, it was strontium 90. It's that one, isn't it? So there we go. Let's put on the lowest setting, and see. That's just doing, it's on circuit check at the moment, isn't it? So just put that all the way around. Right, there we go. Right, let's see how much gamma actually comes off of this. So there's the background level. There's the gamma coming off of that. So yeah, it's not all that high, is it? Some of them have replaceable batteries, Iron Man. Some are charge units. You'll have to read the description for the one you're interested in. Yeah, and before I get out the DP5, yeah. There we go. Right, let's just see if any beta comes off of this. It's a bit higher on beta, actually, saying that. So yeah, you get quite a bit of beta. So I guess alpha, beta, and gamma come off of this. What was your question? I didn't see it. Dark Shadow. You asked me that earlier. I said, no, I've never been in the military. I was medically unfit to serve. Right, let's try it on this scale. Yep, just a nice bit of alpha, beta, and gamma going into you. Yeah, this isn't as anywhere near as high as the strontium I was showing earlier. Well, when you have radioactive fallout, Iron Man, lots of that starts dissipating very quickly. So generally, it's considered like, you know, weeks to months, you know, and stuff like that. But 30 years will cover you against most radiation. As in the half-life of, you know, what would be in ground-bursting atomic weapons. Right, let's just turn it back off again. But yeah, there you go. That's the DP75, but I'll be doing a video on it later anyway. It won't be live today. It'll be live in about a month's time. But yeah, were you going to say something, Hype, sorry, about the DP5? Because you said, and oh yeah, before you go, break out the DP5. And then your next comment was about this. So I don't know if one of your comments got deleted by YouTube. Oh, you said, can you answer my question, Dark Shadow? And you've still not asked the question again, so it might be getting deleted by YouTube. But the problem is, if I can't see it, I can't answer it. Right. Thank you, Jacek. I wonder if it's YouTube's deleting your comment as well, Hype, because I keep expecting you to put something there and it's not showing up. So maybe YouTube is purging it, unfortunately. You can always tell me on Discord what you're going to say, because it's a Hungarian stick grenade, but yeah, it's not too dissimilar from the German ones. Right, Hope and Glory, okay, Iron Man. My favourite gas mask, the Avon CT12. Well, that thing, that is a Polish RS70 gamma and X-ray alarm. So basically what happens is when it goes over a certain threshold in the ionization chamber, it sounds the alarm. I tried it earlier with beta, but that doesn't set it off. And I very much doubt there's enough gamma coming off of this to set it off. There won't be. Whether or not I can get enough uranium at some point to test those, I don't know, but probably not, to be honest. The watch I've got on my wrist I wear, I certainly don't wear this one. My granddad wore that every day for like 50 years. But I don't wear it, especially because you'd have to keep winding it non-stop as well. All right, I'll tell you what, Hype, if you're still on, I'll check Discord later if you're going to say something. Because, yeah, if you're trying to post anything, YouTube is just deleting the comments and I can't see them. Yeah, I've got to check CM3. They used to paint watches with radium paint to make them glow in the dark. So to show you what radium paint is, it's not that one I want, it's this one. As the radium is so old on there now, it doesn't glow very well, but you can maybe see when I do that there's radium paint. They used to paint watch dials with radium paint so they glowed in the dark. Yeah, I've got quite a lot of watches, Joe, if you look on my YouTube channel. To get invited to the Discord server, you need to donate. Anyway, I'll be off in a minute because, as I said, I've gone on 15 minutes or so longer than I've been on before. But, not before. Yeah. With radium, it'd be really interesting if you could still get a bit of radium paint, just painted on the surface to check what it'd be like. Which filter do you mean by the M1 filter, Dark Shadow? Do you mean like the Yugoslavian M1 filter? Because personally, it's 60mm and old, so I wouldn't really recommend using it. I've not been to Serbia, but I've been to Hungary, but I'd like to go to Serbia at some point. But I have been to Hungary, and Hungary was very nice when I went there for a few days. Right, anyway, thanks everybody. I'll be off. If you want to say something Hype, just do it on the Discord. So yeah, thanks everybody. I'll be off. Thank you for the donation, Laser. I appreciate it. I'll put all the radioactive shit away in a minute. Could be the word safe being purged. Yeah. And then, yeah, what I'll do is probably film either a video on the strontium or the DP75. I might do a video on the strontium, actually. It won't be on for another month. Oh, thank you, Laser, again. Because the video on the strontium, I just literally want to be, you know, a video where let's get different Geigers and see what they do when I put the strontium next to them. But, yeah, right, thanks, everybody, and good evening, and see you all at some other point. Goodbye.